Thanks for coming in. Oh, great. There we go. Ooh. Press the wrong button there. There we go. Good morning, Jim. So, hopefully, I've got everything running smooth this morning. Looks like I'm on a little bit of a delay here. Yeah. My video is about 10 seconds behind my actual movements, so it's kind of weird. So how are you doing this morning? What's going on? Of course, it's not morning anymore, is it? It's mid morning for you. It's 7 o'clock here. Guess I'll get into the picture here a little bit. Turn this just a little bit. There we go. Not that I really need to be in the picture, but at least you can see who you're talking to. So I was doing some. I got out the chainsaw yesterday, and I started working on some of this stuff and found some pieces. Ready to do your 2 p.m. live? Yes, right. I'll make sure everybody knows to go check out yours later on this afternoon. 2 p.m. Is that like noon my time? 2 hours? Are we 2 hours difference? It's 7 o'clock here right now. Or are we 3 hours difference? I had to order parts for this. So they didn't. 3 hours. Okay, so it's 10 in the morning. Okay, so you're starting in about 4 hours, basically. Okay. All right, that's good. No, you're starting in let's see. That'd be 11 o'clock our time. So that's okay. Yeah, I got it. 2 o'clock your time is 11 o'clock my time. Hey, Rich, how you doing? Thanks, I appreciate it. Hit the like button while you're here. You're up on a whole 10 already, huh? Wow. Got your day going early. Don't take them for too much money today, Rich. Keep it nice. Okay, so I was just kind of waiting for a few people to get in here. Yeah, I hope he wins too. I don't think you have to hope. He wins a lot, so it's not a matter of if you'll win so much as how much you'll win. So you're on the golf. If you can do it on the golf course, then anybody can, right? Especially as high tech as you are. Okay, so I think I'll go with the Cypress piece first here today. And I'll show you something. When I was cutting this up, I wasn't sure at first. I had this checking on this side. when I was cutting this up, I was like, I wonder if this is what this wood is. At first, I thought it might be red fir, but the more I look at it, the more I think it's cypress. I could be wrong. It's beautiful wood either way. It's got this nice graining in here, and I'm calling it cypress, unless I find out otherwise. It doesn't really have that kind of smell, but again, I don't think it's red fir either. So we'll see. The other day, I thought I had something else, and it ended up being oak. So who knows? I do know this is walnut. You can see the walnut. This was branch walnut, not off the trunk. So it will be a little bit different. So we're going to turn both of these this morning. And I guess I should take this off here. I don't need this one right now. And let's see. Do I want to use this one? I could probably get by with this for now. Got so many different tool rests, you never know which one you're going to want to use. Okay. So let's we'll mask up and we'll get started on this. Hey, Bus Nerd. What am I making? Well, I'm going to be making a lot of sawdust. And hopefully we're going to deal with this wood that has branches in it and everything. And it should make a really pretty bowl. We'll see. I'm not sure how hard this is, but it seems like it's a pretty firm piece of wood. So hopefully you can all hear me okay. I'm putting on my mask. And we'll turn this up a little bit. And let's just kind of clear up the edge here a little. We'll move up a little bit. Closer. Okay. Come out here and get that. There. Writing that bevel certainly rounds it up pretty quickly. We do have the flat spot still, so I got to come in some more, but I think I'm going to work on flattening the bottom first before I worry about taking the rest of that off. So let's get here. There we go. And yeah, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. We're getting real close. We're over 4,600, so we only need to get another 350 subscribers, and we'll be at 5,000. Well, I got to say, this is turning really nice. Very cooperative. So far. And boy, is it making a mess. Whew. All right, so we got a relatively flat bottom now. Now we can work on these sides a little bit. We are going to have to angle that in. So let's see. I think probably this way is the best way to go. I like to have the tool rest kind of at the angle that I want to go, so it helps give me a little bit of a guide as I'm doing this. What I do is I just keep my finger right up against this, like that. And that kind of just keeps me on the same level going all the way up, and I don't accidentally gouge in too much. That just gives you that control. Just gives you that control while you're going through it. And inch up a little bit more on it again. I think I'm taking out just a little bit too much at once. There we go. You don't want to get greedy and take off too much at once if you can avoid it. So almost got it there. All right. Okay, let's see. I think I got that flat spot off of there. Good. I can just kind of shape this a little bit. Very smooth. It's really, really nice turning here. Yeah, soldier, that really does. If you make this angle, excuse me, you make this angle the angle that you want to do it, and use this as your guide with your finger, it really keeps you on the right angle all the way through the cut. And using the bevel of the gouge, riding right along there, you're just cutting right along with it all the way through. This is basically your cutting edge. I'm going to smooth this out just a little bit. And I'm looking up here to see where I need to kind of smooth things out. A little bit high right in that spot. Okay. Yeah, it's actually almost shiny after using this scraper. So we got this punky wood, and I probably need to go down just a little bit further on my flattening, just to make sure I've got some good purchased wood for the tenon. So I'm going to flatten this out just a little bit. Okay, that's pretty flat. I think I got enough solid wood here. I'm worried a little bit about that right there, but I might be able to work around it. Let me see. Use this flat scraper. There we go. Oh yeah, it's nice and flat. No gaps. Using your tool really is a handy way of checking for flatness. Okay, I think I got enough there to make a tenon. You can see this is really beautiful wood. I'm going to move you in just a little bit so you can kind of see a little bit closer. There. This is really beautiful wood. It's got a lot of spalting, it looks like, and some layering in here, so I think it'll be a really nice piece. So let's get a tenon on here. Right about there. And I'm just kind of setting the parameters here with this little gouge. I'll go back with my I think I may have made it just a little bit larger than I usually do. That's okay. Okay. See how that is. Maybe need to make it a little bigger. We'll see. It just fits in there. It barely fits in there, so I think I'm gonna give it just a hair more. I mean, I was really darn close. That's okay. That just gives me a chance to clean that up a little bit more. There we go. That looks pretty good. Yep, fits right in there. Perfect. Good. Okay, so we got the tenon. I'm going to go over this with one more time with a scraper here just to make sure we're nice and even. You can see we still got some bouncy spots. Okay. Yeah, that's really nice. Okay. This is not going to take a lot of sanding. It's going to just be, I think it's going to clean up pretty nicely. Let's see how we can just get a little sanding on this. Let's see. Rash of flying chips, but yeah, I always wear my face mask. Yes, you can see my face mask, and I always wear my smock, my Turner smock, and that does help deflect a lot. I'm going to turn this on for a second. Just bear with the sound, if you would. Okay. Turn that speed up. Got a little bit of ingrained tear out right there. I want to make sure I address. So now's the time to do it. Okay. It's funny, the more you sand, the more you find little tiny details that you want to fix before they become permanent. And this is the time to do it. When you got the sander in your hand. Okay. That was the lower grit. Now we're going to go to the finer grits. And just kind of buff it out a little bit. I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious what the moisture content is. I'm going to check here real quick. 9.7. Yeah, that's nice and dry. It's a nice dry piece of wood, which I could tell pretty much from the cuts, but you still want to check it. There shouldn't be much cracking after this point. Okay. I'll try and keep you relaxed, Rich. So, to be honest, I don't want to be stressed either. I think that's all we're going to do on the sanding. So now I'm just going to put. So now I'm just going to put a little wax on here, just so you can see what the are like. Let me shake this up first. Let me see just what this is going to look like. That is a rich red, isn't it? It's going to suck this stuff right up because it is pretty dry. So I'm not too worried about that. But I like using a brush because it gets in any little tiny little crevices that I might have in here that you can't see with the or feel with your hand, but you can find it with the brush really quick when it doesn't when it leaves a dry spot. So isn't that a nice color? Yeah, I like that. I really like that. Take this off for a second. Staying here. Don't worry about me. Um, yeah, you got this, Rich. Okay. It smells piney or it doesn't really smell piney, and it doesn't really smell cypressy as much as I would expect it to, which is the only thing that's throwing me off just a little bit. Um, yeah, it's already sucking this stuff in. Um, that's what was throwing me off just a little bit about this piece, but it is a gorgeous color, no doubt about that. It almost looks like you stained it, like for a jewelry box or something. What do you think of that finish? I'm gonna have to go back, and I might want to just take out. There's a couple little tiny scratches in here, and if as pretty of a finish as this is, I want it to be a really high polished look. So I may go back and spend some more time sanding this off screen from you guys. But I just wanted you to see what that color is. That is just gorgeous. I think I'm going to move you in for a closer look here, and I'll turn that for you. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. And I got a bunch more pieces of this, so even better. All right, I'm going to pull back out just a hair, and we'll take this off and get it started on the other side. There we go. It's still pretty oily at this point. one of the problems with putting a finish on is it gets your hands all oily. I'm gonna wipe my hands off here a bit. Okay. But I do smell nice, I gotta say. All right, get the drill. And let's take these off. You don't need a large faceplate. These little faceplates I get off of Amazon for like $7. I keep a bunch of them around the shop for all sorts of different things. I use them in all sorts of different parts of my wood turning. There's not just as faceplates. And at that price, you can afford to have a few of them. I use them to make my blocks, like for my finishing blocks, like these. You put this in. You put the hollow end of the bowl in there, and you can take off a tenon if you're taking off a tenon. But I just keep a lot of them around. Sometimes I have 4 or 5 blanks ready to go. Okay, I want to make sure I got it nice and flat on here. Oh, that's a little wobbly. I don't like that. Something down in here. It only takes the slightest little piece of dirt or something in there to make that an uneven hold. I think I can live with that. Okay. Tighten it there. Tighten it there. That should be a pretty good hold. Swing this around. All right. And I think we're ready to go inside and find out what the rest of this bowl is going to look like from the inside. Let me get my mask on. Because no, Lord knows he wouldn't want to damage this pretty face. Right? Please hit that like button and or subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Where are you? There we go. Okay. Let's kind of set that outer edge. Yeah, there's going to be some pretty hard wood on the inside. It's a little bit reminiscent of our oak bowls in the other day. A little bit easier to cut. I should take out this outer edge while I got the opportunity here too. Make sure I got that nice and straight. Take out very fine shavings. It's not coming off like in a thick shaving at all. Okay. We're getting nice scrapings. I think, though, this might need a little sharpening because it's very dense wood. This is almost polished. It's so dense. You're gonna make handles for oh, cool. That sounds great. I want to see that, soldier, Jim. Those of you in here, please hit that like button and please consider subscribing, or you may even consider being a member. We got like 20 some odd members now. And if any of you'd like to be a member, it's a whole 99 cents. Doesn't cost much, and you get early access to some of my videos and some of my shorts and so forth. So if you'd like to become a member, as we get more members, we'll start doing more member type things. So you're certainly welcome to join the group. Okay. Let me get this sharpened up. I think we need to do that. Because if not this, we're going to have to go to the carbides and see if we have more luck with that. See. Looks like we got a pretty good. Looks like we got a pretty good thing. We'll see. Well, this is really hard wood. This is almost like that manzanita we did the other day. It's very, very tough. Boy. Wow. That is just really, really tight. I'll try the carbide again. I know we did the carbide last time, but I'll try that and see what happens. I think I can go thinner on these walls too, so before it gets too. And again, I'm watching the line from this side here. That's what I'm doing. You always want to come all the way through the cut, otherwise leave a line where you didn't finish it. Okay. Yes, it's slow growing. That's true. It's a slow growing wood. It's slow going wood too. Also, woods that tend to grow in a drier climate, like the desert or something like that, they tend to be really hard too because they are slow growing and they have to be very hardy to withstand the not just the temperature changes, but also the movements of things and the winds and so forth that they encounter. So yeah, the different trees do grow at different rates and different different speeds. I need to pull it just a little bit. This tool rest is slightly too high. I can make it work, but if I'm not careful here, I'll have a hole in my one before Rich does. But yeah, it is. It's very hard wood, but it's very solid. There's no animal markings in this like there was the other day either. It's been untouched by bugs as far as I can tell. When we have a meeting at the wood turners, there's a lot of cars out in the trucks in the parking lot, and they all open up their tailgates and they have wood. It's usually excess wood that they have, or it could be wood that was donated to them, or in some cases, it's pieces that were left over from a gentleman who died or something like that, or stopped turning, or moved away. So in those cases, sometimes we know this, sometimes we don't. There's a lot of speculation. We'll sit there and go, well, I can't really tell because it's painted on both ends, and we don't know what the wood looks like inside. So we're not really arborists. I kind of wish we had an arborist in the group to help us identify some of this, but at any rate, we give it our best guess, and then we go from there. Now we're starting to get some form to it. And we're about 2/3 of the way down. So trying to keep that wall the same thickness all the way through it. It's right, you want to start to curve in, and you don't want to do that too early. I also don't want to be overly aggressive in the process. Although this wood's been really cooperative, I don't want to all of a sudden grab something and lose my purchase on the tenon. So. And get some of that dirt out of there, or dust out of there, I should say. No, you can get. You can see I'm getting nice curls, okay, but I'm also getting a lot of dust. It depends on where you're hitting in the wood. When you're coming out, you're not going to get the curls as much. When you're cutting this way, you get more curls. And it's just the way that the wood coming around is hitting the blade. When you're doing this, you're curling the wood out. When you're doing this, it's coming down and you're kind of like chopping the wood off. It's not curling out. So that's why you get the difference in the shavings. That feels good to about here, and then it starts to go in. And I think we're getting near the bottom. Again, I don't want to have a hole in one before Rich does. So, but I also want to get down as far as I can. Ooh, that's what I didn't want to get. And you'll notice when I get over to the side, I don't keep it like this because that's a lot of pressure coming down on the blade. I turn the blade in like this, so it's just getting a scraper cut on the inside here. Almost no chance of catching. And that way you get a nice sheer cut, but you don't get the catching on the sides that can ruin your bowl. Now, this feels like it can still go down some more. Okay, I want to see how that feels. Still feels a little bit high in the center here. Okay, that feels better. Yep. Okay, I'm just going to take this scraper and just kind of do the same thing with the scraper because it's just a little bit wider. It's just taking a little bit more off down there. There we go. That's nice. That's good. Okay. We are at, oops, sorry guys. Sorry. We are at an end on that piece. All we need to do is a little bit of sanding down and we can go on to the walnut. Okay, so we just kind of get the sander here. We're going to hit it with a little bit of sanding. I'm not even going to use the higher grit or lower grit. I'm going to go right to a higher grit. And I should turn this on. Okay, good. We'll go up to the 240. I'm going to put it in reverse. There we are. That looks pretty good. Okay. We'll get some little bit of finish on that. We're going to put a little finish on that, and we're going to call this one done and move on to the other one. So let me get my brush. Had a little bit on there already. So then just using beeswax with some orange oil mixed in right now. I'm not using my tung oil for this one because the wood doesn't need strengthening. There's no sense using the expensive tung oil on something like this. Obviously, another coat out here never hurts. And like I said, I may go back and refine the outside just a little bit more later, but this is mostly just to demonstrate the process and show you what a beautiful piece of wood can look like. You give it just a little bit of care. Okay. That's just one coat, of course. And this is not a friction polish. I'm just kind of wiping off the excess and kind of pushing in the finish just a little bit into the wood when I do this. Evens everything out a little. Here we go. Nice burnished finish on the wood right now. We'll take this off, and you can see what the final finish looks like. Using that scraper, we remove a lot of those tool marks in the bottom of the bowl, so you have a nice finish. I'll kind of bring this up into the light so you can see it. Let me kind of center things a little bit, and then I'll bring it up. Okay, so there you go. There's the bowl. I think it has some pretty nice colorings to it. It really finished off really nice. It's a nice piece of flight cypress. So if you like that one, guys, let me know. Please hit the like button if you didn't already. Hi, Stavros. Vadici, I think it is. Yeah. Hello to both of you. And what do you think? That's our first bowl. I kind of like it. Okay. Gonna set that one aside. Let that kind of dry out a little bit. And we'll take this chuck off. Don't forget my friends here at the Whacking Shack and 77 Rockets and some of the other guys I have listed in my description area. Also, I have some products usually listed in the description area, and a couple places where you can get discounts and so forth. So, feel free to hit that part of the description button and see what's in there. But we're going to try this piece of walnut next. Oh, let me show you what that cypress looked like. If you didn't see it earlier, the one we just turned, this is what it looked like before. And that's what we turned it into. So this is two more bowls right here. And what I did with some of the others, and you'll see it, I've got a short video that shows you how to process wood blanks. I took some of the cypress and cut it this way, and look at all the figuring in here. I'm going to make some small plates out of this. I think they're going to be beautiful. Make some small plates, and I'm going to make a small bowl out of this one. So I got probably 8 or 9 turnings out of that one 3-foot branch of wood. If you cut it right, you can get a lot of different things out of it. So, yeah, that wasn't even tongue. No, that wasn't tongue oil. That was just beeswax. I didn't use the tongue oil because the wood is hard enough. It doesn't need tongue oil. I use tongue oil when I want to get it down into the fibers and harden the wood some more. I don't use tongue oil if it's not necessary. So that was not tongue oil. That was just beeswax with a little bit of orange oil in it. Okay, so it smells great too. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna try and flatten this out, bring this up as a head edge, make a tenon, turn this bowl. So let me get my mask on here. A lot of dust. Okay, let's start turning here. We're at about 778 right now. Okay. Kind of got that squared away a little bit. That's all I need to do is just get some sort of action going on it. Now let's see. Make sure I'm clearing. Oops. Okay. I'm clearing and I'm heading that way. Ooh. One of the problems that people have when they're doing a technique like this is they tend to either hold it too much like this and not up at an angle like so, and they're not running the bevel along here. But also, you don't want to be on the outer edge. You don't want to be doing this like this, because what's going to happen is it's going to be bang, 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 bang. You want to get underneath it about there and be taking off all that, because that means you're in solid wood all the way around as much as you can be while you're trying to get this angled up. Okay, I want to see, am I pretty close to the, here I am all the way around now, so I just need to be angling up from here. Okay. Ah, you know what? One of my screws got loose here. That's what I'm hearing. I was hearing a rattling and I wasn't sure where it was from. These screws are a little loose. Okay. Well, we will carefully tighten them. I'll take them out a little bit. I think I might add just a couple more screws just to make sure. That we got a good hold here, because I don't want it to come. That is a hard wood to screw into, apparently. There we go. Okay. We'll get another one here. And we'll do another one on the other side. So 8 screws ought to hold this, right? Okay. without pre-drilling. You see, we got pretty much, except for this right here, we got pretty much everything we wanted on the outside already. So this shouldn't take long to get it straightened out now. That's going to be a lot stronger. There we go. I don't have a lot of room for the tenon, so I'm going to have to really take off a little bit more of this tenon. So I have a little bit more room for that. Okay, that's that. I'm not sure what I'm hitting here. I'm hitting something hard. I think I'll use the skew to try and straighten this out. A lot quicker with the skew. There we go. That's the ticket. Now I got a nice flat bottom to make my tenon on. Now I can get the form all finished off nice and smooth on this. Switch to a different one. It's that part right there that's kind of making it a little bit difficult. So we're just going to have to okay. The skew kind of defined that a little bit, refined it a little bit. See, still kind of rough right there. I'm going to leave that. Just has a nice character to it. That's not going to be a problem. And I got a little bit of a flat spot there. So switch to a different. Yeah, it's just right there on that edge. Well, there's nothing flying off there now, so. There. Okay. I think I refined that as best I could. Gonna need a little sanding right in here. See what I can. Well, you know what? I don't like that. No. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go back on that with this. Using a shear cut. Using a shear cut with the gouge sometimes gives you a better angle on it. And I think that's working. So just bear with me here a second. There. Look at the nice shear cuts you get with the gouge. You apply it properly. It's a nice shear cut. Okay. I think I got out what I wanted to get out there. Okay. Now we just need to do a little sanding. I know it's sanding. Nobody likes to watch sanding. But this is how we get to the inside of the bowl. Is by getting the outside cleaned up. We got the bottom here. And I still need to do the tenon. Do a reverse. Okay. I just kind of go around it. This has some really beautiful color in it in places. Okay. I'm doing this as quick as I can for you guys, but it does need to be done. Kind of soften that a little bit. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put that tenon on. real quick, and then we will finish this off on the outside. Okay, let's see if that is sufficient. Barely, barely, barely. Not even a 32nd, and probably a 64th of an inch. That's all I need to take off here. I don't need it to be looking as indented as it is. I can always flatten this out just a little bit. Oops. Yeah, there. Okay. Got my tenon. I'll make sure that I got it nice and even in there. Okay, and then we'll take off a little bit on the outside. It doesn't look so deep. Okay, good. Cleaned up. Okay. Now, just one more quick sanding. And we'll do this final polish. And just kind of going over it, polishing it up a little bit. It's going to be a nice little piece of walnut. And I could have gone for a little bit different angle, but there was so much missing from the top from part of this that I had to kind of go this route in order to do it. Okay. Let me turn this off. And we'll put a little, same thing. We'll do the same finish on this one that we did on the other one. Got a lot on my rag here. I'm going to kind of wipe that on there. Now this will not be quite as pretty of a walnut as you would get from the trunk. It's a little bit more muddied. I don't want to say muddied. It's just mottled, I guess is the term. but it can still be a really nice piece if you sand it properly. Don't have any end grain hanging out, showing. It will look really nice. One of the nice things about working with a solid, harder wood is you don't have to rely on CA glue and some of the other tricks we have to use in some of the other projects to strengthen it. This should be a nice, strong wood all the way through. Okay. I'm going to let that soak in just a little bit. And while I do, let me just check this one too. Yeah, this is 7.6.7. Yeah, it's about between 6 and 7 also. So it's definitely dry walnut. I mean, I kind of knew that already, but it's always nice to check. You can tell by the way it was turning, it was dry, but yeah. Okay. You can kind of see the outside of this. What do you think? No, again, it's not tung oil. I know you keep saying tung oil. It's not tung oil. This is beeswax. See? Beeswax. In that particular brand, you can get a lot of them. It's beeswax. And it's got a little bit of orange oil to it, just to mixed in there. Food safe, of course, but that's all I'm using is just beeswax, no tung oil. Because again, the wood is not soft wood. You don't need tung oil for that. Okay, and much cheaper than tung oil. So yeah, so I really like the finish on that. We're going to go to the inside now. And we will get through it. So I'm going to have to vacuum up just a little bit of this sawdust here, if you don't mind, for a second, because it's just getting a little too much in here. What you're hearing, by the way, is my this is my noise suppressed shop vac, where I reduced the decibels by about a third, down to around 60 decibels, which is normal conversation level. You don't have to wear earplugs or something while you're vacuuming, and I can talk to you in a normal voice. I can even hear the radio or the TV while I'm vacuuming, which is something you can never usually do with a normal shop vac. But if you want more information on that, I do have a video on my channel which talks all about it. I think there's a short and a longer version of it. And if you have questions, you can always contact me through the channel. I know Alex there was asking me some questions the other day. I showed him some pictures of how I did the noise suppression in the back chamber, and it works pretty good. It really does. It's very, very quiet. So there we go. All right. So, okay, now I'm going to take those screws off. Let me go back out here a little bit. It's weird when you have to be the cameraman and the production manager, the director, and the script writer all in one, you know. When I was much younger, actually high school age, I was thinking of a broadcasting career, and I did a lot of work in television and in radio production. I worked at a couple of radio stations down in the San Diego market. Back when AM was king and FM was just starting out back in the late 60s, early 70s. It was a crazy, wild time. That's all I'm going to say. I can't tell stories out of class, basically. But there were some things that, there were reasons why they put on those long songs on the FM side every once in a while, and the DJ had a long break. So just leave it at that. But doing camera and production and all that stuff, that's a lot of work. When you don't believe, even watching a local news channel, how much work goes into something like that on a daily basis just to get the news out to you. It is quite a process. So, okay, I think we are in, and we are spinning pretty darn good. Okay, and you can see this beautiful piece of this is right in the center of the walnut. Unfortunately, that's probably going to turn away. That was right where the pith was. But we'll save what we can, right? By the way, I told you I'd tell you what I thought of this mask, and so far it's been really good. This power cap mask from Peak Safety, it's really good. And if I think of it later, I'll put a connection to the description for it in the description area. Okay. So I got a little bit of a lower spot right here than I do on the other side. So. Okay, let's see if I got that now. Yeah, okay, I got it all the way around now. Okay, good. Now I can start going this way. Wow. It's really speeding on me. Any of you guys have plans for Easter tomorrow? I know a lot of people like to cook a ham for Easter. You like your new Jackson shield? Yeah, but with better coverage corners. Yeah, see, this has the ventilator on it. I'll show you. This one, the battery's right here. That's it. That's the battery. The fan is in here, and these are your filters. So there's not a lot of heavy weight on the front. The fan is built in the app, and it covers your. And the nice thing is full vision all the way around. So you get full vision, you get complete coverage. It's very comfortable to wear. It only weighs a little over 1 pound. It only weighs about a pound. So I mean, all those things are really nice. You don't have any fogging up of or anything like that. But I will warn you, it is pricey. It's about $700 for the bundle. But with the bundle, you get 10 replacement shields for your face, and for the mask, and you get an extra set of filters. So I mean, it's not a cheap mask, and all, but it really does the job. And the battery seems to last a long time. I did a full charge on it, and I've had 3 lives. This is the 3rd life I've done on it, and still more than half charge. So we've got about 5-6 hours at least. Ham or lamb? Well, there's a difference there, yeah. We're making turkey. Those turkeys that you get an extra one at Thanksgiving and Christmas, and the grocery stores. If you buy $100 worth of groceries, you get a free turkey. Well, we do that a couple times, and we end up with an extra turkey in the freezer. And so usually around Easter, we pull out the other turkey, and we have what's basically kind of a Thanksgiving dinner all over again. But the nice thing is you have turkey for a lot of different things. And hey, it was free, so that's even better. So I mean, it doesn't even cost you anything. Well, this wood is just as dense as that cypress. Getting a little bit fatter ribbon, but still, it's a very dense. think I'm going to switch again because I think a little bit faster for you guys. Might be time to move that a little bit. I changed this on our last one when I was doing the oak bowl. This has been through an oak and then through the cypress. Let's probably do to have this moved a little bit. There we go. Put a fresh edge to that. There we go. Not sure what I hit there. So they still got the screw holes. Ah, that's what I hit. Little branch or something in the wood. You can always feel it. You just have to listen and feel for it. You can't just be not paying attention. It's something I always say, and I've heard a lot of people, say, remember what Jeff says: feel the wood or listen to the wood, and it's really true. I've been preaching that for a long time. There we go. That's very pretty wood inside. And we're getting down. We're going down. We're getting about to the halfway part of this. I'm interested to see how far down that branch goes. So it's still there. It looks like we might get underneath it. I'm not sure. Hey, what else we got in here? Hey, how you doing, Mike? So you missed the Cypress bowl, I guess, but or maybe I don't know. But now we're doing walnut. And yes, this is a carbide in my hand. Before you ask. There's something rough going on there. Something rough right in the middle. Let's see what's going on now. There's something a little punky right in here. So we're getting a little bit of punkiness. Yeah, it's really bang, bang, bang. I don't want it to grab. I also want to watch this. Yeah, it's very rough right here. I don't know if that's where a branch was coming in or something, but I have to start looking at the angle here because from here it goes down pretty rapidly at about a 45-degree angle. It's not a gentle curve, so I'm going to make sure to guide it in that direction. I don't know if this has something to do with Mike or not, but as soon as I got this, as soon as I got the Mike got in here, all of a sudden the wood started getting sketchy. I don't know if that's because of Mike or not. Make sure you're checking out Mike's whacking shack. I don't know if he's going to be doing Sunday Fun Day. Because it is Easter. I'm not sure if we're having a Sunday Fun Day or not. Please keep hitting the like button, though. I'd appreciate it. Wow, we only have 14 in here right now. I lost a lot of people. Yeah, but of the 14, I hope all of you have hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please do so. Wow, I keep losing people. And it's not even, I don't know what, I'm not quite sure why. But if you're going to leave, at least hit the like button before you leave, okay? I'd appreciate that. Yeah, the DeWalter sketchiness skill, yeah, is a real thing. It is. Yeah. But he's a long way from the old Franken lathe. And I miss the Franken lathe in a way because that was kind of fun to watch. Between the Franken lathe and Ryan sitting on the ground in front of his lathe, doing his lathe on the ground, and a few other things, that was kind of a lot of fun, actually. And now we got Jamie from Boondock Builds and Dave from Timber Designs and Chase. They're all turning. Chase from New Beginnings. They're all turning and. I hope I was a little piece of that process along the way. But yeah, please hit the like button. For those of you that just got in here, please hit the like button or subscribe. We could really use. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. We're real close. Let's see where we're at here. We are right about here, so we still got quite a bit of room to go down here. Okay, we're getting down there. We're right about here, and I need to go, yeah, just a little bit more. There we go. See, your hands are really good calibers. They can tell how thick something is like that. Okay, and I can tell it's a little bit thick right there. Now maybe it'll take that up just a little bit. Better. A little bit more on there. That's a catch. Whoa. When your screw starts to come out and you don't notice it. These things do back out sometimes. They can also give you a really bad cutting angle. All right, let's see if we can do that now. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go over that with just the scraper here for just a second. I think that's pretty good. Just a little bit off the middle here. Love using these scrapers. There we go. I think that's good. Okay. You crunch and tap. Yeah. And put our tools away for another day. And let's get this kind of sanded up really quick. Remember you can bend when you could bend over and it didn't hurt? Or you weren't afraid of falling over when you bent over? What happened to those days? I'm not going to give this much of a sanding here because it doesn't really need it. What's your favorite sanding speed? I'm just kind of curious. Mine, right around 700-800 is what I like to be sanding at. Usually. Depending, of course, on the piece of wood. If it's a nice piece of solid wood like this, though, 700 to 800, even 1,000 is probably fine. Once you're polishing, like you're up in the 240 to 400 grit, you can go up to 1,000. You're not trying to shape anything, you're just trying to polish it off a little bit. You've already removed any tool marks. Of course, if it's a pin, you can go to mock Jesus, as they say. But I don't find it necessary on a bowl like this to do that. Okay, I think that's pretty good. All right, well, let's get the, again, beeswax. Beeswax. Okay. Try and shake it a little bit off the bottom there. There we are. That's more than plenty. A bottle of this stuff goes a long, long way. So when you look at the price, you go, oh, that's like $8 or $10. And remember, that's going to be enough for about 50 to 100 bowls. So, the cost is maybe 10 cents a bowl, when you break it down. So it's not really not a big expense and not a big addition to what it costs you to make the bowl in the first place. I'm going to go ahead and put some more on the outside too, since I'm here. You never have enough. Now these are going to sit out in the sun all day and dry and bake in a little bit and harden. And in 24 hours, these will look a little bit different, a tiny bit lighter colored. It won't be quite that wet look that it has, but it will have a nice color to it. And just before you go to a show, one of the little tricks I do, I take a bottle of like Howard's feed and wax with me. I'll take some feed and wax with me, and I'll kind of touch up the bowls as I'm displaying them out there, and that really helps because it gives them that little bit of extra shine and feel that the customers really like. So if you're going to be selling some of your stuff at a show, take some of that along. Just take a couple of little cloths, just kind of wipe them down a little bit. And I'll show you what this looks like. There's our bowl. You can see the colors on the outside and the inside. It's a nice, consistent walnut color. Only had a small tenon, really, on it. And there we go. So there's that. And this one's had a chance to sit and dry for an hour or so. And you can see it's still a beautiful, beautiful piece. If you didn't see us turning this earlier, you should go back on the video and watch this, because this cypress just really came to life. There's the two bowls. They're slightly different size, a little bit different size, and a little bit different shape, because every bowl kind of presents itself. But I think those Came out really good. Go and get a better angle on these for you. I think those really look nice. And we're definitely going to be putting those in the next show, I think. Unless somebody wants to contact me and purchase them from me, you can always go to my channel and look up my email address and contact me that way too. I appreciate everybody's been in here today, and especially Mike and Jim and Alex and some of the others that have been here for most of the day. But we've been in here for a little over 2 hours, and I think we're going to call it that. I got some other projects to do, but I think I'll be doing them either on my membership page. So if you're a member, you're going to get a chance to see some of that too. Like I said, I'm not sure. I may go back and finish on the outside just a little bit more. It's looking pretty nice, but I see a couple little marks, and I don't like marks on my wood. So I may go back and just kind of shave it off just a little bit more. I was thinking of going a little bit thinner on this, but it just didn't lend itself to doing that. This one's a little bit thinner, I think. But we see what I do with that. But great. I appreciate you here. Make sure you Soldier Farms. He's going to be on in about a little less than 2 hours now. He's going to be doing his live. So catch Jim on that one and watch his video. Jim, is it you're turning again? Are you making a box? Did you say? Oh, I didn't. I missed that part where he says you don't have speed controls. You have to swap belts. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I went to. I really like being able to change my speeds to whatever I feel is just the right speed for a particular thing. I see I got likes today. Well, if I only pleased 41 people, then that's all I pleased. I hope that I pleased a few more people than that, but making handles for ferro rods and probably some either a box or another thing you want to. Well, you're always exploring. Yeah. By the way, how are the dulcimer lessons coming? Have you learned to play a few tunes on that yet? Or how's your ukulele skills going? So, well, you could do some of those small projects we were talking about the other day too, like that one I did for the pen holder. In fact, I've got another piece here that I need to finish up. I got this piece right here of olive that I want to turn into a pen holder also. So yeah, we'll be doing that pretty soon. Unless you guys want me to see it do it right now. I mean, I can stay and do that if you like. Hey, Alex, how you doing? Yeah, the bowls did come out really nice, and this has a nice chatoyance to the wood. That really does look nice. It's a nice piece of walnut for a branch. It's nice. It's really nice. Oh, you're collecting all the stuff for those. Well, if anybody wants me to see wants me to turn this right now, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to call it a day. So, up to you guys. I can stop here. No problem. Let me know. For all those people that are out there, I see like 20, 25, 30 people out there, but I'm only talking to 2. So where are the rest of you? Come on, guys. Right up. Hit the like button or write in the comment section here. Let us know where you're at, where you're from, what you're doing. Hi, Robert. There you go. See, somebody wrote in there. Hey, Robert, I hope you hit the like button. If you'd like, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. But, please join us. There's another one. Is that Francie or Frankie? Frank, I'm not sure which. Frank. Hi there. So welcome to the team. Welcome to the group. We do a lot of turnings. We do a live every Thursday, and then I usually do another one either like on a Saturday or Sunday or Tuesday, depending on the week. So we do a lot of different lives. Again, would anybody like me to turn this, or should I just go ahead and just call it today? Because I can go either way. I've been standing here for 2.5 hours about. So, no, not seeing any response one way or the other. And always fun to watch, always informative and interesting. Yeah. Well, I'll probably save this for another time, and we'll just call it. We'll just call it a day here. But thanks, guys, for coming in here. Oh, you wanted? Oh, he wants me to turn it, please. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll turn it real quick, and it only takes a couple minutes to do it. So let's just turn this really quick. Whoops. Let me put these bowls away. I won't be fastening the pin holder to it, but I will go ahead and turn this. I'm not even sure what it's going to look like until I start turning it, to be honest with you. So probably start with sloping the sides, and we'll work it from there. So let me put on my mask. Okay. I'll bring you in a little bit closer. There we go. And I'll go ahead and do this one real quick. Always check first before you turn it on. There we go. Getting pretty close. Okay. Now I have to get in close to it. There you go. Now I can clean up this back edge a little bit. That'll save me a little sanding later. All right. Okay. Now I can kind of get in here and shape this a little bit more. Okay. Now what I've got here, just so you can see, is I've got this, and the screw has to come up through the middle here. You got to drill a hole, and this comes in and holds it. And I was thinking of putting that in that spot, maybe if I can make a flat spot, but I'm going to have to lower it down some so it has room. So that's kind of what I was getting an idea of. And my original idea I don't think will work, but we shall prevail. I'm going to get my, oops, this one. Got a left hand and a right hand. This is the one I want for this. So we'll take it down very quickly. Do a nice flat finish. I love turning olive because it makes the room smell like olive oil when you're turning it. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now I got to get back around here on the sides. I got to kind of clean this up because that looks pretty ragged. I don't like the look of it. I thought maybe I could make it kind of more ovally shaped, but I think it's a little too ragged for that. So, well, we will cut it off a little. Oh, that sounded nasty. The piece is breaking off. Yeah, little chunks there, but I can deal with that. Just bring this around. Yeah, that does that. Okay, we're pretty flat on top. Like a little bit of ruggedness there. Okay, we kind of just clean off the top a bit, and we'll be ready to just sand out the rest. And a really flat spot right up here. And it can kind of slope off a little bit there. Okay. Good. Okay. That does that. Okay. That's all I had to do. Now what I'll do is I'll just sand this down a little bit and we'll finish it, and then I'll be ready to use that for a pen holder. Make sure that's nice and flat. Oh, excuse me, I'm going to turn this on. Keep that really flat right there. Slope it off just a little bit. Flat right there. Slope it off. Work on this outside a little bit. Oh yeah, that made a big difference right there. I'm gonna put it in reverse just for a second too. Okay, I think that works. Take this one off. We'll go to another one here. Okay, that's good. And this one I want to go a little bit higher polish because it is a small piece and it is going to be holding a pin. So I'm gonna have to take the bottom out and then sand the bottom separately. We're not taking much off here. We're just kind of polishing the wood a little bit. I'm going to go to 400 on this one, which I don't normally do, but I do on pens and on things like this. There a little bit. It's a very rocky little piece of wood. Like I said, normally this would be a piece of wood that you just throw away. But there's lots of uses for small pieces like this. And if you're making some pins and stuff, why not make a pin holder for them also? Yeah. I've made a lot of these, and the thing is, you can take a pin sale, and you can increase your sale by another $10 just by making one of these, and they only cost you about $3 to make. So so I mean, it's like it's a really good, quick way of adding a few dollars to a sale. Okay, let's we've been using this all day. We might as well use it again. It's olive does not need a hardener, so it does not need tung oil. We'll just slather some of this on here. Make sure I get into those little crevices. This will make that olive wood come alive. Love turning olive wood. It turns easily. It always smells wonderful. And it feels good in the hand. That's something that you got to kind of understand too if you do a lot of turning. Some woods just feel good in the hand. The weight of the wood is proportional to the piece that you're turning. It just has a lot of aesthetics to it that I can't exactly explain over the internet here, but they all feed into what a wonderful piece of wood is to turn. Okay. What do you think of that? If you can get a better view of that. Not sure which was a better camera light for that, but there's the finished product. It only takes like 10 minutes to make. And there you go. Now just take the little screws off the bottom and we'll have a piece ready to turn into a pen holder. I'll probably, when they're slippery, it's hard to hold onto the wood right after putting the wax on. You really should let the wax sit for a while and marinate, sort of. Oops. Harden. Oops. Whoa, there went my drill. That's probably not a good thing for drills. Drills don't like to be thrown down on the ground. I don't know where that other screw went, but anyway. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll sand off the bottom here. Then I'll make sure I make a little bit of an indentation for the screw so it can fit properly up in here. And that's all we'll need to do. Just tighten it down and voila. You've got a nice articulated pin holder. This one has a ball joint on it so it can be moved in any direction. And that'll look pretty good in there, I think. To actually give you a better view, we'll do this. Okay, that's what it's going to look like. I think that olive matches up to it really, really, really nice. So, there we go. Sorry, I had a bad angle on that. There's what it'll look like when I get this screwed on. So, again, a good use for a small piece of wood. When you got beautiful olive like this, you don't want to lose it. You don't want to lose it for something simple like this. So, save it, utilize it, cut it into small sections and do a sectional piece if you like, doing sectional turnings. There's a lot of things you can do with that wood, so don't just throw it out. Again, please hit the like button, subscribe if you can. If you haven't subscribed, it's free, doesn't cost you anything. It helps the channel a lot because we really are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers, and we're very, very close. You could be one of the people that helps us get over that number. So, really putting a push on this month to try and get to that 5,000 mark if we can. And I'm sorry, what did Tim say here? You want to get an intelligence filter? I don't know. You don't need an intelligence filter. No, I like leaving bark in places where it's appropriate. It just adds a little character to the wood, I think. This is just it's just there, and I think people look at it and they go, "Wow, I really like that you left the imperfections like that in." They don't like something that looks like it just came out of a little factory in China or something like that. They want the little imperfections. So, and hi Tim, I forgot to say hi to you earlier. So yeah, thanks for coming in. Okay, so this is what we did for today. We did the Cypress bowl, and we did the walnut bowl, and then we did this little bitty piece of olive for a pen holder. So, not a bad day's work. I got to go inside and make amends with my wife now, and I really appreciate you all being here, guys. And we will be back together really soon. Especially remember, we do a live on Thursdays every week. There's memberships available if anyone wants to be a member. Yeah, well, it's a Saturday and you have to go to a sale when you got a sale. I understand that, Tim. If there, Jim, if there was a sale, I would have gone to it too. But anyway, guys, thanks for coming in here. Please consider the memberships. Please consider subscribing. And we will see you all real soon. Thanks.